Ooh. Has anyone checked on Ari Aster? Like, is he doing okay? 'Cause good lord, man. I'm worried about you. Midsommar is the newest film from A24, and this movie is written and directed by Ari Aster, and this film follows a group of friends who travel to Sweden to attend a midsummer festival that happens once every 90 years. But once they are there, they discover that this festival might not be as peaceful as they had once assumed. To say that Ari Aster surprised me last year with his feature film debut would be a bit of an understatement, because Hereditary was not only my favorite film of last year, but what I truly believe to be one of the best horror movies of all time. So, needless to say, whatever Ari Aster made next, I would be pretty excited to be there. He could be like, hey, I'm making a movie about a bag of socks, and I'd be like, cool, when does it come out? And seeing how successful that film was critically, A24 did what they do best, and they seemingly just gave Ari Aster the keys to the car and said, have fun, kiddo, knock yourself out. And oh boy, did he certainly do that. Ari Aster is really seeming to develop a very clear voice for himself, and with his sophomore feature, he seems to be attracted to similar ideas and similar themes. Midsommar is a film that deals a lot with relationships and the intricacies that those are comprised of. This is also a film, like Hereditary, that deals a lot with grief and how the grieving process can affect yourself and the relationships that you have established. In addition to that, this is also a film that our characters' actions do not necessarily dictate what happens to them. There is a scene in Hereditary that directly discusses this idea. Oh yeah, this is also a movie that is heavily rooted in discussing and involving pagan rituals, much like Hereditary was. And it is because it has to do with these rituals, which are juxtaposed to a very bright and sunny veneer, complete with dancing, a lot of flower crowns. This film is going to draw a lot of comparisons to the 1970s Wicker Man, which, believe me, is not necessarily an accident. Ari Aster has been very open with the connections that this film has to that movie. It's not like we caught him red-handed. This isn't a secret. But I promise you this, the way that this film is executed is nowhere near similar to the way that that film is executed. And the only similarities that these two movies have are very surface level. Ari Aster crafts a much more shocking and brutal film, definitely compared to The Wicker Man, but also in a lot of ways to Hereditary. This is a film that forces the audience to confront these unapologetically grisly images in a way that is complemented quite well by this film's setting, being this bright and gorgeous location that seems like it almost has this permanent Instagram filter on it. This is an absolutely stunning film to look at, the way the shots are composed, the, again, beautiful cinematography. But in many ways, this is a film that, in my opinion, is much more unconventional as compared to Hereditary. For one, this film is much longer, and I feel that it is a lot more demanding of its audience, which I really admire from Ari Aster. For myself, he has earned this trust as a filmmaker, and I know the type of movie maker he has proven himself to be. So if he wants to make something a lot more unconventional and a lot more risky, by all means, have at it. Which is precisely what this film is unconventional. I promise you, you will not see another movie like Midsommar for the rest of the year and probably the year after that. But it's exactly because this film is so daring and so unconventional that I feel that this movie almost requires multiple viewings. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I caught every single thing that this movie is trying to convey. This film, like Hereditary, necessitates multiple viewings to fully capture what this film's message is and all the subtleties that this movie has to offer. And something else that contributed to me not being able to fully capture everything that this movie has to offer were some technical difficulties that I experienced at my theater, unfortunately. There were some issues with the projection of this film, so I would say the bottom 10% of the screen was cut off, so there were a lot of instances in this movie, or I wasn't able to read the subtitles of this film, and considering this movie takes place in Sweden, that's kind of a big deal. But I'm not going to sit here and act like that's the only reason that I wasn't fully able to capture what this movie was trying to say. Again, like Hereditary, this is a movie that requires a lot of the audience, and as a result of that, probably necessitates a couple of viewings. And with multiple viewings, I feel like I would be able to fully appreciate this film like I appreciate Hereditary. That is a movie that not only works incredibly well as a horror movie, but it also works perfectly as a family drama that talks about familial relationships and, again, grief. And this is also a film that is attempting to work on multiple different levels. One of these is, again, this kind of pagan ritualistic horror film similar to that of The Wicker Man, but this is also a movie that dissects a relationship that is possibly coming to an end, a very toxic relationship for both parties, and in a way that isn't completely noticeable at first. The first go around with this film, I feel like I was able to grasp the relationship angle that this film has to offer a lot easier the first time. So seeing this movie a second or a third time, I do hope that I will be able to discover new things about this movie that will potentially increase my enjoyment of it. And I want to make myself clear, a film that is challenging and requires multiple viewings from its audience is not a bad thing. Some of the greatest movies of all time do precisely that. This is a film that I want to talk to people about. This is a movie that I want to read interviews and watch the director commentary that goes along with this film, because Ari Aster has proven himself to be a very intentional filmmaker that makes his movies very meticulously and with a lot of care into delivering a very unique experience for the audience, which the summer that we have had so far, I welcome with open arms. So no, I don't understand everything that Midsommar is trying to say, but I do know a few things for sure. I know the performances in this movie are outstanding. Florence Pugh as well as Jack Reynor are both excellent, both of whom so well are able to accomplish their relationship in this film and that type of dynamic that is oh so common, unfortunately. I also know that the score of this movie is so well done. I don't know where Ari Aster continues to find these creeps and these just demonic scores that they are able to craft for these films. I love it. And last but not least, I know that I like this movie. This is the perfect example as to why I hate giving grades to films, because my viewing experience of it, just seeing it a few hours ago, is going to be a lot different than after seeing this movie multiple times. This is a film that I know challenged me and made me want more, and in a summer that is full of conventional and trite films, it's nice to have a movie that actually made me think. And this isn't something that we often see from horror films, especially those that earn a wide release. In fact, I would hesitate to call this even a straight up horror movie. If you're looking for cheap jump scares or something you've seen a million times, go across the hall and watch Annabelle Comes Home. Actually, don't do that. Avoid that movie like the plague. With Midsommar, A24 has delivered on another unique movie-going experience with a film that is as challenging as it is disturbing, features excellent performances, and is insanely well crafted. I am well aware that this movie is aggressively not for everybody, but if you do go see this movie, please tell me what you think about it. I want to start a dialogue about this movie. I want to get other people's opinions. So did you guys see Midsommar? What did you think about it? Leave your thoughts and opinions down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you liked today's video, and if you did, you can click on the link down below and subscribe to my channel to see more movie reviews and movie-related things. And guys, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.